It's truly an honor and a privilege as ADL CEO for me to present Tim Cook with ADL's first Courage Against Hate Award.
At Apple, we believe that technology needs to have a clear point of view on this challenge. There is no time to get tied up in knots. That's why we only have one message for those who seek to push hate, division, and violence. You have no place on our platforms.
The idea that censorship efforts against so-called hate are courage against hate. You want courage? How about actually confronting those supposedly hateful ideas? It's not courageous to hide ideas rather than engage with them. It's not courageous to think that you ought to decide for others what information is suitable for their consumption. This is the Cowardice Against Hate Award. This is the Cowardice Masquerading as Moral Virtue Award.
Now, if you tell a normal person that you want to remove hate, division, and violent speech from your platform, they'll probably say, okay, that sounds reasonable. But it becomes problematic when you start to look into the definitions of those three words. What is division? What is divisive? Well, some things are and some things aren't. Who gets to choose? What is hate? Who gets to decide what hate is?
Like, hate is an emotion. You're treating it as if it's an actual character, as if it's an actual villain. No, what they want to do is they want to control what hate means and then decide which type of political speech does and doesn't get to be on their platform. Because when you think about it, it's absolutely ridiculous that you can wage a war against a human emotion. It's like trying to wage war on greed or trying to wage war on jealousy. It makes absolutely no sense for the sane mind.
You have no home here. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. My friends, if we can't be clear on moral questions like these, then we've got big problems.
Now, yeah, face value, fighting hatred and bigotry sounds like the morally right thing to do. It sounds like a righteous thing. It sounds like a good thing. But if you are actually paying attention to what is happening online, as well as deciphering a lot of the PR manipulative lies told by Tim Cook, his speech is, again, terrifying.
But are people such as yourself, Tim, and the social media monopolies like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, are you all going to take it upon yourselves to determine who gets to speak online? You're going to determine the tone and context of another person's speech and decide whether it's hateful or not. The right of a person to freely express themselves is enshrined in the Constitution of the United States, in the First Amendment.
They burned unsuitable books en masse in an attempt to synchronize culture with the desired political ideology. They sabotaged information deemed incompatible with the right thing, at least as they saw it, and they did it because all the reasonable people agreed upon it.
Doing what's right, creating experiences free from violence and hate.
Words are not violence. Legitimate threats of violence are another thing entirely, of course. They can be reported to law enforcement. Also, speech you hate is not hate speech.
Experiences that empower creativity and new ideas.
Hard to imagine new ideas are possible on platforms that are tightly censored.
It's what our customers want us to do.
It's a very simple life, isn't it, when someone does the thinking for you? For people who don't like to think, for people who have a stressful life, just having like a set of rules and have someone else think for you makes things a lot more easier, makes things a lot less stressful.
He personally himself wants to decide what is divisive, what is, quote, hateful. Dangerous rhetoric that we have seen from fascists and other authoritarians before, saying that they need to shut down free speech on behalf of the, quote, public good. And of course, all of it has been a lie and has historically always been a lie and used, of course, to stop the progression of human society and any resistance against the current power structure.
But I'd like Tim to give me any example, at any point in history, where censorship or efforts to control or eliminate certain viewpoints resulted in more human freedom, more human progress, a better human condition.
I believe the most sacred thing that each of us is given is our judgment, our morality, our own innate desire to separate right from wrong. Choosing to set that responsibility aside at a moment of trial is a sin.
And it seems today the left is embracing what I would call a non-theistic religion. I know it might be a little bit hyperbolic, but it's a set of dogmatic rules they abide by almost as if it's religion.
You're giving them power over your morality. You're giving them the power to decide what is hate and what isn't hate. Do you realize the amount of power you give to these corporations?
Why are you trying to program people like computers? Why do you view it as your moral obligation to program the correct viewpoints into the system? If treating people like humans is so crucial, why would you sabotage the uniquely human capacity to think and speak freely?